Of La Voz Latina, and we have a sponsor here from the casino.
Yes.
Matter of fact, Lloyd George, one of the chefs that's been in here before with your boss, I guess.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, and then mention everything that Russell.
Okay. Well, my name is Lloyd George. I'm the new assistant food and beverage director and executive chef for
all right.
for a hotel and casino. We're getting ready to open up the new side, hopefully soon.
Okay, great.
And we'll be adding a 152-seat buffet.
All righty.
A QSR, which will stay open 24/7, and that's more of a pizza concept.
I see.
And quick grab, eat place to like sandwiches, small items like that.
Okay.
But yeah, I was recently just. I used to be the sous chef over Camas.
Yeah. Did you get promoted then?
Yes.
Okay.
A recent promotion.
Oh, okay. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And then our food and beverage director is Russell Brower. So
okay.
I work under.
And that was Russell that just taught you to just talked to right now. Okay.
So.
And tell us what else you have.
We'll be adding a full bar too, also to the property.
Mm-hmm.
Concession stand in bingo.
All right.
So. It's a pretty big property that we're going to be opening up.
Now they're open what? How many days a week or every day?
Every day.
Every day.
Yep, every day.
When from what time to what time?
24/7. So
24/7.
We don't,
wow.
We don't close.
All right.
Besides bingo hours, those will be different. I think there's like 2 days out of the week that they do close down.
So how close is it to being completed out there, by the way?
I can't really say, but hopefully soon.
Like, give me I know it might not be right, but give me a date, maybe.
Few months, maybe.
Few months, okay. Yeah. All right, sounds pretty good. Is there anything that you would like to say in behalf of your bosses, the directors and that run the casino style?
We're just really excited to open up the new property, and thank you for inviting us out. And
yeah, thank you for being on our last show. This is it.
Okay.
After this, La Voz Latina is gone. We're doing our last show, and you're part of it. All right.
Okay.
Okay, then I appreciate you, and thank you. What did you bring? What is it you brought?
We brought some cookies and some waters out for you guys.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Okay. Who's next? Anybody want to come up? Lewis.
Lewis.
Where you are, Lewis? Come on up, Lewis.
How are you doing, Hank?
Pretty good, buddy. Pretty good. Nancy, you want to come up? Okay. Oh, just talk about you were one of my producers for a lot of years. You know, give your comments of whatever you want to say. This is our last show. By the way, is Mark here? Mark? Mark Nye? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Boy, that clip was weird.
Yeah, it's old. It's old.
Just like everything else.
Right, okay. And then I guess we'll... Can you see him back there? He'll give us a sign maybe when...
We're on.
Okay, we're on?
Yeah.
Okay. Louis, you were one of my producers for how long?
Oh, about 3 years.
And we talked about physics, and we talked about...
We talked about everything. We talked about politics. We talked about history. We did shows on art from Mexico.
Right.
I also talked about an attempted nuclear strike on the United States back in 1968.
That's right.
So, you know, we've covered every subject possible over the last few years, and over 30 some odd years, Hank. That's impressive.
Well, thanks.
You are the man.
Okay, well, thank you. And there's Nancy, my producer. Nancy's been here with us for 5 years.
Yeah.
And she's been one of the best producers that I've ever had here on La Voz Latina. She's gotten on to people. And she emails them. She gets results, and then she sends the results here to Ken. And you know, she did a heck of a great job.
Well, it's really sad that the city is taking this step. I understand the budgetary constraints that the city's under, and they also want to utilize this space.
Right.
But the loss of public access television for Pocatello is serious.
Yeah.
It's one of the original FCC mandates that communities have public access television, and evidently that's kind of gone out of the way. That, you know, this, how long has channel 12/64 been in operation?
Since, I think it was April 14th, 1982 is when I think we went on the air, and I think we were the first shows that went on the air. It actually started in 1975. They got it going, you know, they got the plans and everything going, but they really didn't go on the air until 82. But they had to recruit the people to get them interested in coming to the public access and getting involved in the show itself, you know. So they had people. Bruce Weinigman was the kind of the recruiter that did that, went out in the community and tried to get people to come in, and he did. He got the people to come in, and Marty Walsh was, I think, was the production manager at that time, and they talked to Armando Martinez, my co-host, and then he talked to me, and that's when we came on. So they had to do the recruiting first.
And have you talked about your show, your early show, your 5-hour show?
It was a 5-hour show, that's right, man. We started at 5 hours, and we covered it really good. Armando Martinez and I did pretty good because we had the first 5 years we did it in Spanish, and then we did a city council meeting, and we had to do that one in English. I remember I translated, and I did the questioning, and then Armando did the translations. And but we did really well. We had parties just like this one here, you know. We had guests that came from our actors like Jorge Rivero from Mexico that worked with John Wayne here in the States. Carla De Leon, who was Antonio Aguilar, who was a famous actor and singer in Mexico, and his niece, and then Lalo Gonzales, who was a disc jockey before he became an actor and a singer in Mexico. And we had him here on the show, and Armando did a lot of the interviewing with them. I did it with Carla De Leon, and Jorge Rivera was one of the first ones that came here, and we invited the Mexicans to come and meet him, and we just filled it up. At the old library, we just filled it all up with Mexicans wanting to meet Jorge Rivera, you know, the actor at that time. So it was pretty cool.
So what are you going to do now?
Actually, well, we've submitted a lead kind of submitted for the equipment. I guess John Hahn, I guess, has another organization that's here that's trying to get a 501c3, and they were wanted to start a community access program on their own, and we were going to take the equipment and maybe use it out at Fort Hall in Larry Murillo's old photograph room. We were going to set something up there and utilize it there, but we since have talked together and submitted our proposal to the city council and the mayor to get the cameras, because we have 501c3 and we also have the Idaho number, and we're able to get that equipment, and they would be given it to a responsible organization that's already established. The other organization, when it gets going, then we'll work together, and they were going to put their studio in channel 6, and then they were going to somehow get the network, you know. We don't know what network they were going to use, but they don't have the money and everything yet. So we thought we'd help them. We'd work together.
There's another resource in Idaho State University.
Oh, okay.
Their PBS channel.
Oh, yeah, right.
They don't operate all the time, and that equipment's just sitting there. So maybe you could transfer to ISU.
Oh, yeah, it's an idea.
And keep the program going, because I don't think you want to give this up, do you?
Well, yeah, it's kind of sad, and I've met a lot of people in a lot of years, and a lot of people have got the benefits of getting the information out, whether it's the health, politics, or whatever, you know. They've gotten the news here, and we're not, we don't, how's this? We don't try to cover up anything here.
Right.
We tell the truth about what's going on in the community, and if we happen to say something that we weren't too sure about, then we retract it too. You know, that's another thing.
So
Yes.
how does it feel to be on the question side?
On the question side, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Could we hold up? Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
Let's do Logan and ask Catalina to come up.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Here, can you pick those
Could we stop for a minute? Latina, I guess.
You go ahead.
Okay, on the behalf of La Voz Latina, we have a little something for you. As our director here at Channel 64 now, right?
Yep, Channel
The
64.
former Channel 12, right?
Right.
It's a certificate of appreciation that Catalina Speckbauer got ready for us and was suggested by Nancy to do for you. Is hereby granted to Logan McDougall for the years of dedicated service. We admire the contributions and steady commitment for the production of La Voz Latina. Thank you for serving as a station manager. And Gonzales, September 18, 2018.
Well, thank you very much.
Very nice.
And you have, make some comments if you'd like.
I'd also like to give
Oh,
Mr. McDougall a beaded pin, and it's orange and black because ISU Bengal Day is always Wednesday. So therefore, you should put this on your lapel right there and
you guys
wear
get to see me
that.
wear the same tie every Wednesday.
Mr. Benny Dan had done that. He does a lot of quill work and really excellent work. So
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for being very dedicated producers. You've been with it for what, 30 plus years? 36 years. I mean, that when you think about, you know, programs on TV and you know, a lot of them have a shelf life of only maybe 4, if they're lucky, 5 or 6 years for a program of any type to continue on for over 30 years. I think that's quite a feat and speaks to your dedication to your program and really the dedication to your viewers. And you know, presenting what you feel is important to them and talking about their issues. So thank you for that, and for you know, I've only been here, you know, a little over 3 years now, but yeah, you know, it's been good to work with you, and thank you for coming in week in and week out.
yeah, thank you. And Nancy, would you like to make another comment?
give him a big kiss.
Give a big
Farewell kiss. No.
Thank
No.
you.
No, I really do appreciate Mr. Logan and what he's done, and I just wish we could have been here much longer, another 30-some years, huh?
Yeah.
And I think additionally is today we're having a grand finale, and this will be the last show with La Voz Latina. And we have plenty of people in the audience here that are invited who are guests and special guests and helpers. And there's food from Senor Garcia's Puerto Vallarta's his restaurant, tacos, and there's cake that Senator Mark and I had provided for the celebration. In addition to the Shoshone Bannock Event Center and Hotel. They are here with their famous cookies and water, so we want everybody to join in and just have a great time and eat as much as you want. Of course, you'll have to eat too. Take some home with you, because I think we'll have plenty of food. But I've enjoyed being on the show and getting the various people that have been. And we had a variety from attorneys, judges, lawyers, doctors, neurologists, just legislators.
Exactly.
And artists, so we've had quite a show, and I really enjoyed it. But I think we do have another
Yeah, we
certificate.
have one more certificate, if you could get it up a little. Right there, okay. And then, do you have anything you'd like to say, Catalina?
No, you're doing well.
Oh, okay. A certificate of appreciation is hereby granted to Ken Wilson for the years of dedication and service. We admire your contributions and steady commitment to the production of La Voz Latina. Thank you for serving as the production manager, right? Was he the
Yes.
production manager? And Gonzales, September 26, 2018. So if you'd like to give this one to Ken, since he don't want to come on here
Yeah,
with us.
he's the low-key guy. He's the guy in back in the director's booth, pressing the buttons, making sure the shows run smoothly and making sure they look good for everyone at home.
Is there a gift certificate with that?
Yes.
By the way, could I ask you what are you going to do now? What are your plans?
So I will be in the mayor's office. So my position is moving over there and all that goes with it. So my office back here in community media will be no more. I'll be more in the middle of City Hall. So.
I see. Okay, great.
And of course, here's a keychain made by Tim Cottrell. He does rawhide work and horsehair, so this will be for Ken Wilson.
All right.
Can give that to
Thank
him.
you very much.
Okay.
And
I guess we have one more. John isn't here right now, is he?
I don't believe so, no.
And he said he was going to come back, but he might come back a little. Well, shall I read it for him,
Sure.
and
Yes.
maybe you can
Might
give
as
it to
well.
him? Is that
Yes.
I
okay?
can give it to him as well.
He knows about it because I told him to come back. It's basically, it says the same thing. Certificate of appreciation is hereby granted to John Hahn for the years of dedicated service. We admire your contributions and steady commitment to the production of La Voz Latina. Thank you for serving as the cameraman and receptionist, right?
Yeah, so he's the guy who comes in, or when you come in, he's up front, taking care of you, getting your show scheduled, getting them plugged into the computer. Again, kind of a behind-the-scenes role, but without people in those roles, TV stations don't operate.
Right, right. Well, here it is for John.
And John gets a beaded keychain, again from Tim. So I guess he'll be. I understand Ken Wilson is going to continue on with the city,
Yes, yeah, he will be continuing.
and John has got other plans, I
Yes,
guess.
yeah, he's got other plans, so.
Okay, good. And I think the other point we should address is we've invited the friends of La Voz Latina, invited the guests that have appeared, and
Right.
and also the
Catalina?
Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
You've been one of the coordinators that have gotten the Cinco de Mayo here in Pocatello and growing and so forth. So I really like to thank
Catalina, this is your
Catalina.
chance to say something now. Go ahead. And bring the microphone up a little closer because yeah.
Well, I feel really sad that this is, coming to an end, but I think it would be nice to see what else is out there and give the group a chance to maybe start some new projects and continue the good work that has been done and will continue to be done.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catalina. Okay. Louis, you have any other comments you'd like to make? You were making some while we can do it right here. Go ahead while we got everybody here.
Well,
The
I would like to
director.
thank the city of Pocatello for providing this service for so many years.
Right.
It has been a real boost to the community. It has given a lot of people opportunities that they would have never had before. And it's a real shame that this particular program that the city has is coming to an end. But every time you come to an end, you also have a new beginning that you can start from. So all of us will go on to do other things, but we'll always have Channel 12 in our background, in our mind. And to me, it's still Channel 12, even though it changed to 64.
We've tried since I've been here to change it and make sure everyone's
I
at
still
64.
have the
No
coffee
one-
cup.
Right.
It says Channel 12. So,
That's
and this has been a great opportunity to express a lot of things that I've had, to express a lot of things that have happened in the community and the nation and the world. This is an end to this particular program, but other programs will evolve from this. There's probably other people out there that enjoy this program on the internet that might be able to take up something like that in their own community. So this is not an end, it's a new beginning.
Thank you, Louis. Thank you. And I guess we'll bring some of the other guests up, and I want to thank you for talking on my show for the first time, right? And the last one, too. Okay.
Tell
We'll
Mayor
go off the air
Black,
for a bit and
thank
come
you.
back.
Thank you, Hank.
Yeah, thank you.
You should have him
Thank
come
you.
over.
Okay. All right. JD? You were one of my producers.
Sort
and
of.
you, and yeah, you had some things that happened, personal problems in your family that came up. Your father had passed away, and right during the Cinco de Mayo, matter of fact, and so, you know, condolences for that.
During the Cinco de Mayo, yep.
Yeah.
I was there, and that's when I found out.
Anyway, if you'd like to talk in straight into the mic
Sure.
there.
Well, it's cool to be here for your last show. I think, echo what other people have said, it's sad to see this end. Not just the show, but community access television. As I can safely say, one of the younger people in the room. It's sad that my generation hasn't gotten into it as much as your generation has. So thank you so much for 36 years of service of trying to accurately inform the community. It's a cool thing, and I really do hope you find another outlet for your show, another opportunity to continue the idea, and that people my age will get more involved with it, because TV produced by the people in the community is so important. 'Cause
Right.
conglomerates and corporations don't always give us the full picture.
Exactly. And you're the secretary for LEAD, so you are involved in it, because we did submit a proposal to get the cameras and stuff, so
right.
you'll know about it. I was going to give you the material to read, but
Yeah.
one of the reporters come by and took it with him.
Huh?
So yeah, so
Cool.
yeah, so you were going to do something too. Did you want to say something on that? Ask me any questions?
No, I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
I'll let other people talk, and you've got a lot of guests in the room to get to, and thank you, Nancy, too, for all your hard work. You've done a great job, and
Thank you.
And I hope you guys hope you get to continue on and find your own outlet too.
Okay.
Thank you, JD. Okay, Mark.
I brought the cake.
Thank you very much.
you
Yes, thank you.
Show everybody.
Yes.
And what you can't see in the audience is there are about 40 people.
40 people in the audience now. All right.
Maybe we need another cake.
Oh.
Is that for 37 years on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's 37 flowers.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
That's cool.
Well, thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
very,
you.
Very sad.
Yeah, I felt a little sad too myself, you know, yeah, so when I first heard about it,
No,
so.
Nancy, since you're little.
I didn't know about it until one of the guests I invited, who won't be able to come on because it's over. And he was planning on, some of the guests that I wanted to bring on, and Northgate Project was going to come on, but he had to cancel. He had a family emergency. So he was going to be coming on, but now he won't. And that's that big project up between on Pocatello. Likewise, the juvenile corrections, they were going to come on, and again, they were going to be scheduled later, but now that's gone too.
Yeah.
Some physical therapists were going to come on. At any rate, they're not going to come on. But we do have some guests here. I see a young lady who was Miss Idaho. African lady, Miss Idaho. She's here. She came from Twin Falls.
Oh,
so
did she?
We need to have her.
Oh,
come
yeah,
up here.
definitely, with the ones that, come back, these are,
And then we have the city council lady, Linda, who is just here, so she'll be up. But we have quite a few guests here we'd like to interview. But Mark, I certainly want to appreciate what you've done with the cake and what you're doing for Idaho and the legislature.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank for all the
JD
support that
almost
you've given
got
us.
into the legislative scene too, weren't you?
I thought about running, but not this year. Too many family situations to make
Yes,
that happen.
okay. All right, well,
And
thank you.
And I'm going to pay JD for being on the air today.
Paying me to be on the air today.
Anyway,
Hey, this'll just work.
Yeah.
There you
I'm-
go.
I'm short $5, but I'll get it to you.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, let's see. But anyway,
I'm not
Thank
really
you.
being paid to be on the air.
no, we're joking. We're joking.
All of a sudden, everybody
We're
here is going to want their,
That's
their
right.
money for
That's
being on
right.
the air.
That's right. That's
All
right.
right.
All right, well.
Anyway, Mark, thank you for everything that you've done for this, all the donations that you've done for us in the past, and for being our senator in our district, too.
Don't go too far, okay?
Oh, don't go too far. Okay, I won't go too far.
And by the way,
Yes.
you are up for re-election, is that true?
Oh, yeah.
So that's happening November 2018.
People
Yes.
can early vote already.
That's
Yes.
right.
So that's good.
Well, thank you so much for what you've done, not just for our area, but touch the whole state, really.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Mark. Yeah, you've been great. I'll tell you. Sid met you here last week, right?
Yeah.
You know, he didn't know who you were, but he sure likes you. He wanted me to tell you that he sure likes you.
Well, that's good.
And we're glad to meet you.
Thanks, Mark.
Okay, Nancy.
Yeah.
We'll always know you. You take care now.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She will.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Again. Okay.
With the La Voz Latina grand finale, we have plenty of food and we have plenty of people here today. Thank you all for coming. But some of the guests that we have is Miss Alma Jam.
Yes.
And Alma came from Twin Falls today. She came for the show some time ago.
Yes.
And with her father. Is he here today?
No, my dad's not here, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
He's
Well,
here
send-
in spirit, so.
Okay, just send him our best wishes
I will.
and
I
thank
will.
him.
Thank you.
But thank you for coming.
Yes.
And we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that you've been doing.
Okay.
And of course, our city councilwoman, Linda Lorick, is here with us.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Good to see you.
And
too.
Dr. Dietra Levine Caputo. She's a sociologist up at the Idaho State University here in Pocatello, and you've been on the show several times. Great.
Can't get rid of me.
Glad you can make it over. Okay, and Alma,
Yes.
tell us why you were here. Not why, I know we asked you, but why
Yes.
were you here? Give us some of the
I
information,
think,
just a little.
Last
I know you were Miss
time-
Idaho. Is
Yes.
it Miss
Miss
Black?
Africa, Idaho.
Miss Africa, Idaho.
Yes. And
we
so I
have a-
handed down my title in 2016. But I think last time I came on the show to talk about human trafficking.
Yes.
Because that was my
Oh, yeah,
platform.
right.
And it's an incredible opportunity because we're having, we have a project coming on to do a documentary
Oh, really?
about
Good.
human trafficking here in Idaho. And so I'm so happy that you invited me on the show to talk about this. And so that's some of the updates that are coming on. And yeah, so
Great,
yes.
great. That's excellent.
And I'm actually here in Pocatello now. So
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Oh, well, good.
Yes.
All right. Welcome.
thank you. Thank
Lucky
you.
for us.
Thank you.
Linda Lorick, Council Lady, Pocatello City Council. See, you
like
were the
it,
folks that
Council
didn't fund the show, huh? Okay,
Yes.
you've been on the show several times.
I have been in different capacities. This is the first time. No, it is the first time I've been on this show since I was elected.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. But I came on the show originally. You had invited me several years ago as our AAUW branch president. That's American Association of University Women. And we talked all about women's issues and particularly equal pay and the gender wage gap and those kinds of things. And had a great 3-hour conversation between the three of us. That was the first time. And then I think I'd been on several times as a candidate when I was running for different offices. And now this is the first time since I've been elected. And I did want to just say the mayor and there were a couple council members that were wanting to be here, but they had conflicts. So I was the only one that was able to come, but they all send their regards and just regrets that they couldn't be here. So.
Thank you. Tell them thank you.
And this was a tough decision. We had some tough decisions to make on budgeting. I think there was some misunderstanding about what we actually did cut. It wasn't all public TV. There will still be government access and some education access that we're keeping. We just needed the studio space for other things, but all our meetings will still be recorded. The school board meetings, I believe, will be recorded. The League of Women Voters forums, all the things that come under the government access part. It was the community access that was being cut. But we are also in talks with two local groups right now that are interested in starting. Well, one already is a nonprofit. The other is starting a new nonprofit to take over the community access part. So we're hoping that we won't actually lose that part. It will just be run by a nonprofit group in the community.
Well, that would be good.
There's a chance, and we would hope that you would not go away, that your
Right.
show would continue. So that's being worked out right now. They're
Yeah.
trying to get funding, and LEAD is one of the groups, and then
Right.
another group called Portneuf Community Access Television.
Right.
And I think
Good.
we put them in contact with each other, and the city has offered our equipment to help them get started and everything, and I think LEAD already has some equipment maybe.
And we've talked.
Good.
Yeah, Larry
Good.
Murillo, myself, and the young lady that come in the meeting. We were out at the casino
Wonderful.
restaurant. We talked out there.
Okay.
So she'll be reporting back to you guys.
Good, because we talked, they came and talked to us, but we were, us being the mayor and council, but we were, so we put them in contact with you, but they said they were very excited to have somebody else to work with, and to hear, you know, they didn't know about LEAD, but they wanted to work together, so.
Oh, that's good.
We're hoping that can work out and that we don't really lose community access.
Great.
Thank you for that.
Well, Hank, I think we do have some other guests we'd like
Well,
to interview, but
don't-
Alma,
Yes,
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
we-
you.
Linda,
Don't forget
and
we-
of course, the doctor,
Yeah.
The doctor. Watch out.
Okay.
Oh,
Doctor.
thank you.
You were here several times as well.
Yeah, we want you to say something. We
Yeah.
don't want you to
Oh,
walk
okay.
away. My goodness sakes, you're going to walk away on this.
Yeah, no, a couple times I was here sort of helping interview people, I think, right?
Yeah, that's happened, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Now
guys
you
kept me
were.
busy.
Now tell us what you did on the show. What you talked about.
Yeah, so I talked about my work in terms of studying mass incarceration in the United States,
Right.
particularly prisoner reentry.
Yeah.
And my research project that I'm still working on right now is trying to learn about the life experiences of people who've been incarcerated in Idaho and what it's like to come back home and sort of rebuild. So that's what I've been doing and keep myself busy.
I'll keep in touch with you because there's
Oh,
some
no,
people that are
definitely.
coming. There's some people coming back that I might need help or advice from you.
Okay, no, definitely.
There's a definite need for that. Definite need. We have the reservation, and you see some individuals. I've been in incarcerated and or in the correction system, and we want to make sure
Oh.
there's some viable help that these
Yeah,
individuals
I've been
can
behind
get.
the bars myself.
Yeah, it's you know, coming home is super hard, right? But if you know, if there are people out in the reservation who would like to talk, I've
You're still
I'm
open to that,
Still
then?
open to that. Still looking
Excellent.
for more people.
All right.
So it's an ongoing thing.
Good, because yeah, we got some that are coming back.
Thank you, Dr. D.
Oh well, thank you very much for
And
having me. I really
Linda?
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
You bet. You bet.
Alma,
Thank
thank you
for
so
coming.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Keep in
Be
touch.
sure, be sure and eat the
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely keep in touch.
tacos and
I
everything.
will. I will.
Thank you.
because it's
Got your
been
mics
another
on?
year.
Yes.
Thanks, Alma. for
Thank
coming.
you.
Okay.
Thank
Okay. We've had several fine guests on La Voz Latina over the last few years, and I'd like to introduce Dr. Gregory Bailey. He's a neurosurgeon, and he has quite a life that we've learned over the times that you've been here. Dr. Bailey did a series of neurology types of education for us and about Alzheimer's, and it was an enjoyable and really enlightening and very complicated type of presentation, but you put it down to a level where I think most of us could understand. Also, I'd like to invite to thank Mr. Larry Murillo, Dr. Larry Murillo, PhD doctor, and you've done some things with the show several times. So, and also Carmelita Benitez, Benitez, and Carmelita is a teacher by profession, and she's been on the show several times. In fact, you invited Alma Jam to be here, and I'm glad that you did make that contact, as well as Dr. Rahim, and I guess he couldn't make it today, but let us start with you, Carmelita. You came here several times, and you talked about education, and give us just a quick overview.
Well, thank you both, Hank and Nancy, for inviting me. It's quite the privilege to be able to come and be a part of this program over the last couple of years. I, of course, am an elementary school teacher, and I've been able to do that for 31 years, which I consider a real blessing. I would like to continue doing that also for a number of years. There's so much to continue doing in our communities, specifically communities of color. That's part of my passion as a educator activist, not just teach kids the 3 R's, but also how important it is to use their voice to overcome the challenges that we have to overcome in our communities.
Good, thank you. And your teachers, you came with some other teachers, they were not able to make it?
No, they weren't able to make it.
Would you like to say something in Spanish too? Because one time we did an interview and I didn't interview in Spanish. And you told me, so go ahead and...
Bueno, mi nombre es Carmelita, muchos de ustedes me conocen. Soy de aquí originalmente de Aberdeen. Vengo de una familia que para ellos la educación venía siendo muy importante. Mi mamá trabajaba por el distrito de Aberdeen unos 20, 25 años y muchos la conocen por su apellido, cual es Lucero. Y pues estoy muy agradecida de estar aquí con los doctores y con el señor Hank y con Nancy. Y también, no sé si han hablado del mural aquí.
Mural, sí, lo hizo José Antonio Quesada de Aberdeen.
Sí, que es un muy buen amigo.
Y muy buen artista.
Sí, también. Sí. Es todo. Gracias.
Gracias.
¿Cómo no?
Thank you, Carmelita. And Dr. Larry Murillo, sorry. I love that. Need a tie there.
Well, actually, I wore it because that's Ramona Juan Lima's craft work, and she was the one that came in and talked about plant medicine for the show.
Oh, right.
And then I followed up because she was talking about specific plants, and then I talked more about being respectful to the plants and how to gather in a respectful cultural way. So I really enjoyed doing that show with her. I've spent many times in the community working with her and trying to promote her knowledge to the community so that more and more people can start to look at the use of plants for their medicine. Because if anything should ever happen to pharmaceuticals because of a war or any of these kinds of things, she keeps telling me that we're going to need ways to store things, and medicine can only exist when it's cold. I mean, many of them, unless it's in a certain kind of pill form or something. But so many of them need to be kept at a certain temperature. If those conditions aren't there, medicine can go bad pretty quickly. And so she's teaching us that we need to start paying attention to our plants, because that's another way to treat certain kinds of things. And so that was one of the shows that you had me on. Another one kind of broke into a family album, I guess you could call it,
Right.
because Hank was interested in my family, and that's what got me started looking at the spiritual aspects of health, because I was shown by a medicine person that all of my family was going to die, and that
And they
the
did.
question, oh yeah, they did, and I even had a chance to talk to my mom before that happened. And so what that did, though, is it taught me that I needed to start paying attention to culture and other kinds of things that would be important for my family to know, but also for the community to know. Because I just feel like if you just live your life without paying attention to what went on before you, and especially if they're important things, such as spiritual principles or things like medicine, things such as spiritual practices, cultural kinds of things, all of those are so important because they help determine who you are and how much attention you paid while you were alive. And so I want to be able to not be an expert, because I certainly am not, but to know enough so that I could at least be helpful to other people for certain things. And so the last one you had me talk about was about culture and science, and that's very important as well, because our culture needs to be interpreted in terms of science. Science is based on observation, and our culture is just as observant as many others, and there are things that we observe or have perspective about that can add to the mainstream's knowledge about various scientific topics. And I mean, not just one thing, and we're not just talking about history or language or things like that. We're talking about actual science dealing with medicine, the physiology of human beings, even the neurology, just all the different components of the physical systems, and also to be able to realize that there are things that we need to start articulating again to bring those ideas back. And there are people who have been doing this, and I want to follow them and start figuring out how we can start doing that for various communities here in the United States. So.
Oh, that's good, Larry.
Thank you.
And you have your tapes, don't you?
I only have one of them.
Oh, okay.
I need
Yeah,
one.
you
I
didn't
need
get
one
the rest
for
of them.
Ramona, and then I'd like to honor my family.
We'll
one
give
too.
Ramona and her son our best regards.
Of course.
Okay. And Dr. Gregory Bailey, I'm glad you came because you actually are in Utah. And then you're up here.
I just happened to be up here this week, right?
That's excellent.
Well, thank you for coming. Tim.
Yes.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Anyway, so in talking about pharmaceuticals, most people don't realize that a lot of the pharmaceuticals that we use actually come from plants.
Yeah.
And so plants are extremely important. And in fact, in the early days, a lot of the pharmaceuticals that we use, were used in their raw form from plants. So the most amazing part, of all of us is essentially our mind, which is a combination of our physical and spiritual brain. And we really are an extension of our mind. In other words, everything that we perceive and how we interact with the outside world comes through our mind. And so the more that we pay attention to keeping our mind healthy and well, the more we can enjoy life. I mean, I see so many people that unfortunately they didn't do the things they should do. In fact, 70% of healthcare is caused by people's own bad choices. And so if you are trying to live healthy, then not only do you yourself benefit, but those around you don't have to suffer because of your bad choices. So the brain is really the most exquisite creation in the known universe, and there's so little that we actually know about it completely, but we do know that the things that it can do for us are immense and beautiful only if we spend the time to take care of it.
Thank you, Dr. Riley. Thank you very much, and for coming. I appreciate that.
Pleasure.
Okay.
I
We'll bring
think,
on another group?
yes, we have more guests we want to bring on, but Dr. Bailey, thank you so much
My
for all
pleasure.
your help that you did for us.
You bet.
Larry, thank you for all the info.
You're very
And
welcome.
of course, Carmelita, thank you so
Okay,
much.
Sonia?
Several more guests we've had over the last year, and I'd like to introduce Mr. Sherwin Racehorse. He's an economic planner and urban planner and a planner. And you've had some very interesting things when you came on the show. We'll talk about that. Also, Ms. Roseanne Abramson. She's a teacher by profession, Shoshone Bannock. Thank you for coming. And also, Ms. Martinez is here, and she's been on the show, and she's part of the LEAD program. And of course, we've got Lewis here again.
Again.
Yeah, good. Now, with Mr. Racehorse, you came on. Did you come on a couple times, and you brought your consulting person, Alaskan, and tell us what that project has done and where is it now? What is it all about? Quickly.
Well, it was a comprehensive economic development strategy.
Hey, sure, you got to put your mail on.
Oh, it dropped.
This is all Hank's fault.
Yeah, it is my bad. I didn't put it on right. I didn't get it right.
It was for your information, I'm no longer in the planning department. I'm a master's graduate student at Idaho State University.
Oh, okay. Good.
Trying to get a Master of Public Administration.
Okay.
But the project that Nancy referenced was a comprehensive economic development strategy funded by the Economic Development Administration. It's an instrumental planning document for the tribes. Recently was approved, and it's currently being implemented.
All right.
So it serves as a boilerplate for economic development. It's identifying several initiatives, including what is good governance, reshaping of laws, and reorganization of the tribe, if you will.
Great.
Other issues are related to housing, and one of the central pieces that we were trying to implement was a housing manufacturing plant to promote workforce development and industry for the tribes. So there is other economic development initiatives that involve the tribe's corporate structure and their new board. So it's all in the plan.
Good.
Seek it out, evaluate it, and watch it as it blossoms.
All right, buddy.
Great.
And thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for your work.
Welcome.
Roseanne Abramson.
I just want to say
somewhere,
I'm sad there's a farewell because you gave a voice to indigenous people in the Idaho area. and the many minorities and women and a lot of issues. And we really appreciated it throughout the years. And just to tell you a little bit about what I'm doing, I'm still ongoing with Sacagawea history and presentations. I'm also a culture consultant for many situations, not only for the tribes, but for the community, for southeastern Idaho, and even on a national basis. Good. Currently, I'm working with the Gathering of Nations to promote and preserve and revitalize the horse parade, which is only held by a few tribes practiced. And so it's all a part of revitalization and preservation. But I just want to say that being on the show here has brought me many memories, and I want to thank both of you. I refer to you as the activists from the 70s. I mean, you gave a voice, you're giving us a voice, you're providing the community to understand that we are progressing, that we are moving ahead, we are making achievements, we are making successes, but we're also informing them to become involved more with our community. And I want to thank you for that. I think that's wonderful. Both of you. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roseanne.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for your work.
Yes, your work
Thank
too.
you.
Ms. Martinez.
I hope we keep a list of everybody that came today, because we need to stay in touch. I want to thank you, Hank, because a lot of people don't know the impact that you have had on the community. We worked together. I asked Louis to come up here because we worked together on a community economic development initiative, and over 200 people, because of you, received training, entrepreneurship training, and I see how their businesses are flourishing. I see they're on Facebook because we provided technical assistance and training for over 200, mostly women, that were isolated.
And the we is who?
The individuals that were on a board named Latino Economic Development. And we still have that 501c3. We were funded for several years, and then our funding ended. But we still have some funding, and we still continue to meet. That's still the group that does Cinco de Mayo. So we're still doing Cinco de Mayo. And I don't know if you referred to the mural back here. Did you?
But go ahead. And
well, the artist is Jose Antonio Quesada, and so we always want to remember that mention that's his work.
Exactly.
But the vision really was of the Native and Latino community, that we are brothers and sisters, and that this is our ancestral lands, and that our brothers and sisters from this part of the continent welcomed us, and have always been very welcoming here in Southeast Idaho, and that we've always done really good work together. And that we need to continue to do that. I was very fortunate. I've worked with Randy L. Teton. I've worked with Delvern Seaman, and then with Louis Archuleta here. And when I was looking to create a program for economic mobility, I called Hank, and he didn't say, "Well, let me think about it." He said, "Anything that involves creating prosperity for this community, I'm in." And I needed him because he was the person with the experience. And then Lois, I always said, was the word of wisdom.
That's right.
Because whenever we had obstacles, he always had the answer on how to overcome those obstacles. And so I want to thank you for that. He has a way with words. And so there's a lot of leadership here. Nancy it's always been there, and there's a lot of leadership in this room, and those of you who are sitting out there, and a lot of history, and it's really saddens me that this show is ending, because the show for the time period that we had quite a bit of funding for entrepreneurship development, we invited a lot of Latino small businesses on this show, and Hank gave them a voice and allowed them to tell their story. It was like immigrant entrepreneurship, and to tell their story of minority-owned businesses. And we somehow need to do that again. I don't know how, but we need to do that again.
I'm sure you will.
Because, really quickly, my issue is that in economic development, Hispanic and Native American businesses are really paying into the system, but we really don't have that representation, that technical assistance that businesses need in order to grow. And it's just not there. And we need to somehow bring attention that our entrepreneurs equal or same is not equal. Okay, so saying that the resources are there and that the structure is there does not mean equality, because we don't operate the same. We have different cultural backgrounds, and that needs to be addressed in order for us to thrive. So that's all I needed wanted to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
And what's really awesome is this show has provided the opportunity to share our uniqueness, the diversity, and you gave this community that voice, both of you, with those opportunities, and that's what's going to be greatly missed.
Right. Well, thank you.
By the way, Roseanne, you and I used to entertain together a lot of times. You know, I'd show up at the same place as you were performing.
Oh yes, oh yes, we definitely promoted the culture and our pride. And what was interesting, remember I shared with you that we are really one people, because my mother, before she passed on, she shared that we come from the Aztec, and we dispersed among ourselves, the Shoshonean people, the Comanches, Paiutes, everyone. We were one people. No lines were drawn. Right. We were one.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Well, thank you all for being here. And Louis, did you have a comment to offer this section?
I would like to say that
oh, he's got a mic.
LEAD has helped a lot of businesses, and in one example, the city of Jerome had its downtown revitalized by minority-run and owned businesses.
That's great.
And we were instrumental in helping some of them. And the point is that the work that we've started cannot end. We still have to keep our board lead together. We still have to look at new adventures for LEAD, things that will help our communities, not only minorities, but the general populace.
Women.
And women, yeah.
Can't forget women.
Can't forget women. And in today's political climate, there are so many divisive things out there that it's going to take people like us to keep our communities together, keep our communities strong, keep families strong, keep our economy strong. Right now, the political wisdom is saying, oh yeah, the economy's great, but the economy's great for if you're rich. If you're not rich, if you're a working person, you're seeing the same thing I have. I made more money in 1985 than I make today. Most jobs have been stagnant in their wages. Wages generally over the course of the nation have not kept up with inflation. So we have some real challenges.
Let me ask a question.
Yes.
Is LEAD still open for people to come in and get assistance?
No, we're basically an advocacy group, so we're funded for advocacy, but but we're open for funding to be able to do that. In fact, I got a phone call from a board member that lives in Idaho Falls, and he's in the financial business, and he says that there's a desperate need for us to come together and have an economic summit because business owners are asking for technical assistance, and there's really nowhere for them to go, especially with the language and cultural need that is missing.
Oh, good.
Wow. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on the show and coming today. Be sure and eat. We got to get that food.
Can I
Go ahead.
say something about the political environment? That word keeps popping up, and right now we have a hotly state and a federal November election coming up.
Right.
And I wanted to urge all the people of color and women and minorities to first get registered and then vote
early.
Because if you can get, and certainly consider Paulette Jordan. She's running a governor's race, and we need to support that candidate.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sherwin.
Yeah, and Sherwin has some, for people in the audience, Sherwin brought some items if you're interested in Paulette Jordan.
Campaign information.
Campaign information, right?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
I have
Well,
some.
thank you. We have one more group coming up.
And
All right,
thank
thank
you
you.
so
one
much.
last word. Early voting has started in Bannock County.
September 24th.
It started Monday.
Right.
So,
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Good. Thank
Right.
you all.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Sure.
You did. Thank you.
Glad you made it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy.
Buddy.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fortunately.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask. Okay. Yeah. Ken, I would ask you to give us a little more time. I know it's going to go past the 3 hours, but I'd appreciate it on the last show if you'd give us a little extra time. Okay, Nancy.
La Voz Latina grand finale, last show of the La Voz Latina on this channel 64. We've heard from several of our guests, and now we have Miss Pamela Gallegos. She's the general manager, or what is your official title?
Chief Executive Officer.
Chief Executive Officer of the Shoshone-Bannock Hotel and Event Center. You're over the hotel, you're over the casinos.
Yes, ma'am.
Great, thank you for coming.
Yes.
And thank you for bringing those famous cookies and having water from the casino.
It's the least we could do.
Thank you.
And of course, we have Mr. Brower. There's your mic, you have to use that one.
There you go.
And he'll be discussing some of the things with the hotel.
Yes, I'm Russell Brower. I'm the food and beverage director over the casino and hotel.
Thank you for coming. We'll talk more. And of course, we have a celebrity type here, and that's a Fort Hall Business Councilman, Mr. Kevin Callahan. Thank you for coming, Kevin.
No problem. I like coming here.
Yeah, he's coming here. This will be the last time.
And this is my last time, unfortunately.
For all of us.
Kevin, you came here a couple of times. You came here to let people know who you are and that you're running for the Fort Hall Business Council. And then you are on the council now, so give us a little update,
We're updated. We're good.
Okay, thank you.
We're doing good. We're just getting everything ready. The new casino's coming up pretty well. We're looking at the end of November, early December. Everything's going good. I know these guys are taking care of the business that needs to be taken care of. We're getting our policies done, and everything's ready to rock and roll. So,
good. Well,
anything else you want to talk?
Thank you for coming.
No problem. I always like coming here.
Okay,
My
great.
favorite place.
Yeah, we enjoyed having you here.
Councilman Kevin Callahan. This is your first year. You got 2 more years on the council, then
Yeah.
you'll be reelected.
Re-election.
Okay.
Hopefully,
great.
we'll have another station up for us, and
Yeah,
we could do our next thing.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Pam Gallegos,
Yes, ma'am.
you've been on the show. You told us about yourself. Why don't you give us a little update where you're from and what's happening and how long you've been at Fort Hall, Idaho?
Well, last time I think we met, I had just moved here, just getting started in the position, trying to feel my way around and making sure that we really go through everything and analyze things before we start making any harsh or rash changes. And I think it's evolving into a really friendly property. We're like team, family,
Right.
more like family than team members. And I think we're moving along really nicely, especially in the planning and preparation for the new casino. That really has been our focus. One thing that I did talk about was the education platform and trying to make sure that tribal members start being groomed and moving up the ladder, and that's why Russell's here, and he's actually a tribal member and who's worked his way up the ranks, as well as the majority of our staff now. So they are getting the tools they need to be successful, and they're moving up the ladder, and that's as it should be as we discuss this. So it's going well. The employees are getting really excited. We're putting in a lot of programs, and I think things are going well. I'm excited to show, obviously, the tribe's new casino, and I think they're going to be impressed. It's beautiful. We've got a lot of support from our council and the tribal membership at large, so we're really excited. People like Russell, who work extremely hard every single day, making sure that we're not only servicing our guests right now, but planning for the future, because opening up a new operation is very, very difficult and time consuming, but they are working extremely hard.
Well, thank you, Pam, and thank you for all your work that you're doing for the Shoshone-Bannock tribes.
You're welcome.
And for
Thank you.
Russell, now Russell Brower, you're the head of the beverage,
The food and beverage, correct.
food and beverage
casino
It
and
took the
hotel.
CEO to get you up here.
Yes, you could say that.
Because
for
you
sure.
didn't want to come up on the first
No,
one. But I'm glad to see you up here. Thank you.
I try to stay behind the scene. If
Now
I
he's
can.
gonna. Now he wants to go to Hollywood.
But that's okay. That's the next step.
That's,
Moving on
yeah.
up, right?
So you're head of the food and beverage. Are you over the? You're going to have a bar out there. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yes, a lounge. Yes. we
So
will have.
what kind of drinks are you going to be serving?
All the fun ones. Hopefully, actually, we're going to have a full bar.
Talking to the mic.
We will end up having a full bar. We'll also have local breweries that are in the area having their beverages in there as well. Also the Coors and the Budweiser and things of that nature. But we also have the mixed drinks as well. Yep.
Are you going to have cocktail waitresses with the little rabbit ears or something
We
on
will
there?
have cocktail waitresses. I don't know if they're going to be wearing that. But
buffalo horn.
something fancy, something nice. We're going to actually have all brand new uniforms throughout our
Right.
entire property. It's going to put us on another level, that's for sure.
That's
from what we
good.
currently do.
Great. Okay.
Cocktail, right? You just be spinning.
Yeah, it'll be like the movie Cocktail. Get Tom Cruise in there to try to have
All right.
So you already have your bartenders. You've been training, I understand, for bartenders already.
We
been
have,
trained.
the past few months, there's a company out of Utah that's helping us train, get these guys prepped and ready to rock and roll to tend to all of our guests and know what they're supposed to be doing. Yep. Along with the cocktail waitresses as well.
Good. No pole dancers?
No pole dancers, no.
Not this time.
Hopefully we don't end up going that route. But
Okay.
Well,
thank-
there's the boss right there.
Oh no,
Nancy
that
Nancy
these
wants,
are the boss. Okay.
Nancy
they
wants to
make
head
it,
up.
I just provide the options, and the council says yes or no, and we
Right,
move on.
that's
So
right,
yeah,
yeah,
you want
that's
pole
right.
dancers, you go talk to
That's
the
right.
council members.
It's on the table.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you for being here, Russell.
Thank
and
you.
Of course, Councilman, keep up the good work and let's make more money out there. And
Yes, ma'am.
I just wish we had more La Voz Latina, or maybe something might happen along in the
We
future.
don't know. Well, we'll
Yeah.
have to check on it. But thank you for being on the show. All
right, thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
We do have some other people we want to bring up. So,
Okay,
all right,
thank
watch
you.
your
Thank
mics
you,
now.
Okay. All right.
Several guests, Mr. Ramon Murillo, an artist, currently a teacher with the Shoshone-Bannock Junior and Senior High School.
right.
Now, I missed your presentation, but I wish I would. I know you're a great artist. You've won quite a few prizes and awards and so forth. Could you tell us a little bit about what you did at La Voz Latina?
Oh, okay. First of all,
You need to get close to the mic if you could. Yeah.
with testing. I got hit over the head with a teepee pole yesterday, so I may swear uncontrollably with that syndrome.
Oh.
But anyway, I'll answer some questions. Yeah.
Well,
What happened to the teepee pole?
It cried.
Well, Ramon, you're currently a teacher. You're what, the cultural artists at the Shoshone-Bannock School.
Yeah.
But you've also been to some other areas in schools elsewhere.
yeah, you taught. Where did you teach? And
Many places. I taught at Alaska with the Pribilof Islands and the Aleuts. Taught at in the Northwest with the Lummi tribe and Paiutes and Pyramid Lake, and back home at Showband School. So
great.
I'm
Good.
back home at Showband School and teaching traditional arts and music.
and you've done that all your life, haven't you?
Yeah.
Just about, haven't
Yep.
you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you and I are cousins.
Yes.
Yeah. Family.
Yes. Yeah, it's sad to see the program go after all these years, and I know you've put in decades. So yeah.
And thank you, Ramon.
Yeah.
But it's good to see you. Good to see you back, and glad to see that you're working out there at the reservation.
Yeah, I really want to help our young people because that's part of our native culture is to pass on the knowledge before we pass on to our young people, and
Right on.
so I'm really proud to do that.
Well, thank you, Ramon.
Thanks, Ramon.
Mike Savell,
Mike.
what are you here for? I like Mike Savell. That's your.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Well, I just want to thank Hank. We've gotten to know each other this last year, and we've been fishing together, and hopefully we can get out again. And but really, this has been an incredible experience for me, and having been in broadcasting when I was a youth, but a lot of it's coming back to me. When you retire for a number of years, you kind of forget. But I really appreciate all the support. And one other thing, a very positive note, and I had mentioned the Prometheus project, a low-power FM radio station. And I know a little bit about that. I also have equipment that can help get it started. You have to have a license, a low-power FM license, so that might be a possibility of having your own radio station here in Pocatello. It covers 20 miles. Cool. And so if you need any help doing that, let me know.
You're the man.
I'm the man,
All right,
and I've got the technical ability.
And you do. I know you do. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to be part of your program.
Well, thank you for being on the last show with us.
And
Ramon
you're running
and
for
Mike.
the Idaho Senate seat?
Idaho Senate seat,
District.
Legislative District 28. My opponent is Jim Guthrie.
Okay.
Jim Guthrie.
So get out and vote early, right?
That's right. Register early, or vote absentee, because on election day after 5 o'clock there will be lines.
Right.
Okay. Well, thank you for running, and thank you for being on the show.
Nancy,
Nancy.
do you have anything to say? No, because this is our last show.
I wanted to say that I appreciate all the guests that have come on
Thank you.
today and the ones in the past. I know we've had, just over the last few years, about, I don't know, 60, 80 people. We had the ISU basketball team come over. They can't come because they're at practice now.
Right.
So I talked to one of the ladies, Brianna, and she had indicated they would like, but they can't make it today. We've also had a soccer team out of Blackfoot, and Mr. Juan Lucero, and the Park Service, they came. The FBI came.
Right.
Judge Murray with District 6, juvenile probation officers came, as well as Pocatello City. They came over. Roger Shy and Officer Ian Nelson came,
Right.
and they gave us, and of all, David Gates, Chief David Gates with the fire department. Now he was coming from out of town. He said he'd try to drop by. I don't think he made it yet, but he said he'd try, but he's traveling back from Boise or Twin. But they came over and provided information on fires, and
Right.
when they had the Charlotte fire up there at
Right,
South
right.
Pocatello, and some of his staff came. Idaho Power has been here several times to talk about conservation of energy. Mr. Steve Muse and Mr. Mark Lupo. And Idaho Power has also been a contributor towards the Cinco de Mayo.
That's right.
As well as the Idaho Central Credit Union has really done
That's true,
well.
too, yes.
And of course, Senor Garcia with the tacos, he provided that. And as well as Larry Murillo provided those beans. I guess they're really great, huh?
All right.
And of course with the cake, but we've had quite a few donors. Oh, and I wanted to mention Albert Wada and the son Brian Wada, as
That's
well
right.
as Todd Jensen. They brought potatoes to Cinco de Mayo. I mean, they were
Right.
just people carrying out 50-pound bags. I had to pull them back, but they've helped out a lot at Cinco de
It's
Mayo.
true. Mhm.
The iron workers,
That's
Union
right.
732, I think it is.
Right.
They came over. They sponsored Cinco de Mayo.
Mhm.
So we had quite a few donors, and of course, I can't forget Patty Murillo, Patrick Murillo. One year they got what, $11,000 worth of door prizes
That's
for
true.
Cinco de Mayo.
They did.
Gift certificates, even mattresses and pillows. It was just really quite a conglomerate of many prizes.
And you did well yourself too,
And-
Nancy.
Yeah, and of course the casino donated as well
Mhm.
towards that whole event. So we've had quite a few people that were so generous, and Senator Grapo and Farana,
Yes.
his aide, they helped in meeting up there for Cinco de Mayo. So we're just quite a bit of people that were so willing to help, and I can't forget, but Catalina, she has done a lot with the Cinco de Mayo.
She has, Catalina.
So,
she likes to be behind the scenes, but we got her on film now. So
and of course
on
the
last show.
ISU students, they were helpful as well.
That's true.
But there were quite a few people. You just can't name them all, but there were a lot. But I enjoyed the show, and I'm kind of sorry it didn't go, but continue. And I think with this this part of it, we'll have something to remember by. If you all want one, I guess we can get a copy of this. Is it going to cost us $15 again?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That stays.
We'll work something out on that. But at any rate, I want to thank all the helpers, the donations that came in for today, and
Yeah.
we'll have a great time.
Yeah, thank you all for everybody that came today, and the audience that's watching right now, that's been watching us for the last 36 years. Thanks a lot for being with us on Sundays live, and then on the recorded shows that we've done on Sundays at the same time from 2 to 5. Thank you again. And
Hank, you had indicated you used to do 8 hours of show or 6 hours?
5 hours.
5 hours.
We did it for 20 years, 25 years, something like that. 5 hours for 20 years, 25 years, something like that.
And who was with you at that time?
Armando was with me for 20 years, and then I did it for a year, and then I brought in some co-hosts for the last 4. I had one co-host a year.
What about Bowery Boys? Explain who they are.
The Bowery Boys started in 7 years ago when, I think right when Armando, my co-host, retired. I was looking for people to bring because I was all by myself. So I asked Sid Allen, Tommy Brown, John Klein, Talal Liptawi, who lives in Atlanta, Georgia now, and he was, matter of fact, he called and said that he was glad to be part of the show, but he was Palestinian, Muslim, and he taught us a little bit about Muslims. So it was interesting for 7 years there.
Great.
Yeah.
And then it turned to 3 hours.
Then, because I was alone again, and I was doing 5 hours and trying to get material, and it was getting a little tough, to get people, set up.
And then I know I broke it up into 1.5 hours, and that was
You did.
But I also on dementia. Jim Aho, a professor, he came on several times.
Right.
There was Paul Bokwa, and also Wold McZena. He's an African from Africa,
Right,
but he works at Colorado. He's a water engineer, and he helped the tribe with their settlement, with the water settlement with the state of Idaho. So he was on a couple of times, but he came up for one interview in Colorado, so that was really good. INEL, several people did.
Right.
But
I wanted to mention that one of the people that did come to the program at one time was, and you all know him, the producer of La Bamba, Robert Rodriguez, came to the studio just to check it out when he was getting started as a director in movies. So anyway, that was one interesting part of it that he heard about community access and visited. So I've had a lot of interesting people on the show.
Well, nice. We'll be in touch.
Yes.
And thank you, Mike. Hope you can make it.
Thank you.
As well as Ramon.
Thank you,
You've done a
Ramon.
good job.
Little cousin, and then
you all.
Mike.
All right.
Yes.
I want
how
to
are
thank
you?
Hank Gonzales.
Yeah, how are you? Long
Good.
time no see, buddy.
I know.
It's been a while.
For all his dedication and love for this program, I hate to see you go.
Yeah, me too. Yes, but thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I was a salesman for 30 years, and I sold
That's right.
Hank a set of waterless stainless steel cookers.
That's right. Still got it. Still got it. Some of the handles are off, but they're still there. They're still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Would you tell them your name? Tell them a little bit about yourself.
And I'd like to be here to represent the Pocatello Senior Activity Center. So if you have anything, come on down. They have a good program down there. So Fort Hall has been wonderful down there. There you go. In fact, I was there Monday night playing down at the Fort Hall Casino. And if you notice, I lost my socks.
Uh-oh, he lost his socks. I'll be darned.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
And thank you all for coming.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
a lot. Adios. Adios. Bye. Okay.
Be sure and grab some food, cake,
Yeah.
tacos.
I just